Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Ray Kougell reporting. Search underway for 700 migrants feared lost at sea. Italy is conducting a massive search and rescue operation in the Mediterranean after an overcrowded boat carrying hundreds of migrants capsized overnight off the coast of Libya. As many as 700 people are feared dead. By nightfall Sunday, authorities said 28 people had been rescued about 200 kilometers south of the Italian island of Lampedusa, and another 24 bodies were recovered. Rescue workers said the majority of the missing appeared trapped in the 20-meter vessel at the bottom of the sea.
Sono uomini e donne come noi.
Pope Francis used his
Fratelli
weekly address
nostri.
Sunday to thousands of people in St. Peter's Square to call on the international community to prevent more migrant disasters. Those sentiments echoed by government leaders across Western Europe, also calling for emergency talks to address the migrant crisis. The White House has condemned in the strongest terms the mass murder of 30 Ethiopian Christians in Libya claimed by Islamic State. A spokeswoman said Sunday the killings show the urgent need for a political settlement to the chaos in Libya and a unified rejection of terrorist groups. In claiming responsibility for the massacre, Islamic State posted a graphic video showing men kneeling on a beach and beheaded. Others are shot in the back of the head. There are reports of a strong earthquake hitting Taiwan's eastern coast today. Japan's meteorological agency had forecast a 1-meter tsunami that might hit its southern islands. Those warnings have been canceled. The epicenter of the quake was about 75 kilometers off the Taiwanese coast. There are no reports of damages thus far. This is VOA News. Iran's supreme leader lashed out at the United States on Sunday. He accused Washington of inventing the myth of Tehran's nuclear weapons threat. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei also urged offensive preparedness for Iranian armed forces after a top U.S. general warned last week about military action against Tehran's nuclear sites. The African Union condemned what it called a cowardly ambush by al-Shabaab militants Sunday in southern Somalia that left 3 of its troops dead. The militants attacked an AU convoy in the town of Lego in Somalia's lower Shabelle region, killing the peacekeepers from Burundi and wounding several other soldiers. The governor of the lower Shabelle region told VOA that at least 11 al-Shabaab militants were killed during an exchange of heavy fire. Last week, al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the bombing that left 18 dead at the higher education ministry in Mogadishu. And it was earlier this month where the militant group staged an attack on Kenya's Garissa University College, killing 148 people. A new UN report says Afghanistan's judicial system is still failing women, even with the Islamic fundamentalist Taliban out of power. The report says only 5% of cases of violence against women result in punishment for the criminals. UN Assistant Secretary General for Human Rights, Ivan Simonovic, says women often choose mediation to resolve complaints of violence, partly because they lack faith in the justice system.
Interviews with women and girls subjected to violence revealed that negative perceptions of the justice system as slow, corrupt, and distant continue to discourage women from pursuing criminal prosecutions of the perpetrators.
Mr. Simonovic says access to justice for women who suffer violence needs to be improved. President Obama's nominee for new Attorney General is still awaiting confirmation. Federal prosecutor Loretta Lynch was selected last November. VOA's Michael Bowman has more.
The Senate is currently deadlocked on a bill to help the victims of human trafficking and sexual slavery. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the legislation is vital and overdue.
Human trafficking, Mr. President, is a serious problem in our country. It's hard for a lot of people to believe, but it occurs in every single state.
But Democrats object to language that would prevent those funds from being used by victims seeking an abortion and are refusing to allow a final vote until the issue is resolved. Republicans, meanwhile, say there will be no vote on Loretta Lynch so long as the human trafficking bill remains in limbo. Michael Bowman, VOA News, Washington.
And I'm Ray Kougell in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.